Say we did it, God did it. Our parents taught us that we could accomplish anything that was set out that we set out in our mind to do. Miss Flonzie, you outdid yourself. You excelled in everything you did. You did not do it for yourself. You did it for your fellow man. I think that is very appropriate that this award is being presented around election time because you were a pioneer and activist in voter rights. You broke down the barriers. One last thing I would like to comment on is what I learned in church this Sunday. November is Catholic Black History Month. I will celebrate your many accomplishments at our meeting along with your classmate, Sister Thea Bone. Thank you for your many years of service and accomplishments. God bless you. Miriam Butters Curry, 1035 Murray Avenue, Allen, Texas. Thank you for this time.
Well, I'm a church boy.
All right.
It's all right to clap. Everybody clap your hands. It's all right to say amen. Amen. It was at the cross, where she first saw the light. And the burdens of her heart rolled away. It was there by faith. She received her sight. And now she's happy all the way. On behalf of the Canton Convention and Visitor Bureau, Multicultural Division, Joanne Gordon, Executive Director and staff, would like to say that it is such an honor to participate in this momentous occasion for Flonzie Wright. We are continually made proud and in awe of Flonzie's ongoing passion, dedication, and commitment to making the world a better place and having a servant heart in which to continue to build her legacy of teaching, educating, and sharing struggles from the past while ensuring the betterment of a bright future for all those that she touched. Flonzie, that is why we are celebrating with you today. Your outstanding history is now recorded, and you will and you have lived it well with passion and success. Everybody say, and now.
And now.
Oh, that's not good enough.
And now. And now.
You'll be happy all the day.
Okay. Okay, now my task as a friend, elected officials, guests, Pastor Young, and friends. It is an honor for me to share with you what it means to have Mrs. Wright, not only as our our friend, but not only as our long time relationship included many years of friendship, but endured during a time when our county and state were in turmoil. Our journey began in the early 1960s when we were working to gain right to vote for the African Americans, there were many who were involved in the Canton civil rights movement. But as a leader herself, better put your glasses on, that's so I can see. But as a leader herself, Mrs. Wright helped to lead us through many dark periods in our history. I want to pay tribute to all women who were involved. Where is Miss Coney's girl? Raise your hand up.
All right.
And I saw somebody else out there. Miss Divine's daughter. Raise your hand, Barbara. To all the women, but particularly 6 of us who stood firm in what we believed. We were problem solvers and helped reimagine what our city could become. A special group of 6 women, known as the Matty Girls, met with city and county officials to try and address many of the challenges, right and wrong. We engaged in bringing citizens to this courthouse on voter registration days. We worked with our young people to make a positive decision so that they could inherit the legacy that was left for us. So today, I take pride in celebrating this day with my friend, Mrs. Wright, who has always been there for me. She encouraged me in 1971, long time ago. Y'all remember that? Though I'm to run for the position of this circuit clerk right here in Madison County. Though we were unsuccessful, we did not become discouraged. We continued to work even harder for future candidates, many of whom were elected. Thank you, and let's continue to work for justice and equality.
Good afternoon. I'm here to represent the family.
Amen.
Speaking to them.
Flonzie is my cousin. You know, her mother, her father, Frank, and Lydia were very involved in the upbringing of Flonzie and guided her and taught her the difference between right and wrong, coming from a very strong family. And she had, you can't hear me? And she had the direction that was required to do what she had to do later on. She was prepared for that. So I want to say this tribute is to Flonzie and recognize the folk that she's standing on the shoulders of. And when I think about Canton, I think about the time period in 1979, and I think about all that was going on, what a significant challenge that was to get involved. That had to be a courageous thing. Everybody was being tracked in the Sovereignty Commission, and Billy Noble was running wild in the county, and it took strong individuals to say anything. Annie Devine, we talked about that. Coney Jordan, we talked about those folks. Clarence and C.O. Chin stood the ground. Ike Brown stood the ground. And so we had people here that were fighting the fight because black men couldn't stand on the corner of this courthouse in this late 60s and early 70s. Right. Black men could not gather there. Right. And so it was ugly in that period of time, and it took some courage to do what she did. My mother had to send all of her boys to Pineywood School because she was afraid of their lives being taken here in Madison County. And it was a common thing for black men to get beat down in Madison County during this period. So I'm sharing this with you not to give you a historical lesson, but just to put it in perspective. When this young lady decided to stand up, what she was standing up against, it just wasn't no ordinary stand up to say that I'm going to run for election commission in Madison County when people were afraid for their lives every day. And so I'm here to say that we owe her this tribute. She deserves this recognition for having the courage to have stood up, and the rest of us are enjoying the benefits of that fight that she put forth. She and my father, W. Garrett, were elected at the same time as the election commissioners in 1979. My daddy ran for supervisor in Madison County in 1987. First black man to try to do that, and the fact was crosses were burned, people were kicked down, all of this stuff was going on. And so I recognize that today, and when I think about the contributions that black men and women have made to get us here today, I'm humbled. Because I realize the price that they paid for us to be standing here today. And so I want to thank Flonzie and thank everybody that got us to this point. And the mayor of Chula out there, I see his young daughter standing there, the fight that he put up and the courage that he went